started looking into the Elamites, and lo and behold, we find this picture, and this picture's on the walls at Susa in Shushan Palace. Now, if you go to any Bible program app you have on your phone and type in Shushan, Shushan, you will find the references to the Elamites at Shushan Palace. And so when I found this, I was like, okay, this is interesting. These are definitely black people. Furthermore, the Bible refers to the Elamites being archers. And as you can see in the picture here, they all have bows and quivers for arrows. Now, this solidified for me early in my journey that, okay, if there's any truth to Israelites being black, this evidence is very, very convincing, because now I don't have to adhere to the modern European teaching that Shem was brown or Middle Eastern or olive looking, because as I said in the part one, it doesn't make sense that Ham would be the only black brother. If his father wasn't black, it would make sense for his brothers to be black as well. So we know that Ham was black. We know the Cushites were black. And here we find the first son, the descendants of the first son of Shem, are depicted as black. And we can see their hair here. We can see their beards, their hair. It looks like Afro hair. It looks like these are supposed to be kinks or naps or whatever you want to call them. That is black people hair. So that was one of the biggest convincers that the line of Shem was definitely dark, just like the line of Ham.
All right, let's read some of this from the book, The Negro in the New World, originally published here September of 1910. It says, the Elamites of Mesopotamia, and remember Elamites, because we're going to talk about them a bit later. The Elamites of Mesopotamia appear to have been a Negroid people with kinky hair, and to have transmitted this racial type to the Jews and Syrians. What did they transfer to them? Negroid people with kinky hair. That's what they looked like. It says there is a curliness of the hair together with a Negro eye and full lips in the portraiture of Assyria, which conveys the idea of an evident Negro element in Babylonia. These ancient Israelites, as well as the Syrians, all of those nations in and around the land of Canaan were people of color. So in the article that we just read, it talked about the Elamites. And if you go back and look at Genesis 10:22, it will tell you that the Elamites were sons of Shem, proving what we just read in the article, that they had dark skin. They were people of color. They were not white like European. And I'm going to show you this map again. And I know I've shared this map with you several times, but I really need you to get this information and let you know that history is proving who we are. The Bible has already told us who we are. We just didn't know that they were twisting scripture. But this information is right there in the Bible if you want to look this up on your own. And I mean, if you think about the geographical location and the heat in and around Egypt and in that area, particularly back then, they could not have been people with pale skin. Not to survive in that type of environment. People out in the hot sun all day when they were in the land of Egypt making bricks from mud. They had to be people of color. All right, let's take a look at this map again. All right, let's find Elam on here. This is Shem, son of Noah. Here's Elam right here. So obviously they looked like their father. And then through this line of Arphaxad, Selah, Eber, and then trace it down through Peleg is where we get Abraham. and the forefather of the ancient Israelites. So if he had black skin, obviously so did these other people. So did these other descendants of Shem. But what is so ridiculous is that the scholars want us to believe all of the black races came from Ham. But then when it comes to Mizraim, which is Egypt, they said, no, those people were white. The Egyptians are white. All of Ham's other sons were black, but not Egypt. It is so ridiculous. You know, it's just, we really need to start challenging this nonsense because it does not make sense.